apparently married moms need a side piece too. Here's a quick article, I guess from AshleyMadison.com. Mothers have a lot on their plates when it comes to family and their own lives. They have to take the kids to school and sports and do their homework with them. Really? They do all that? Getting supper on the table and making sure that everyone is tucked in at night. Some mothers, however, are trying to balance in a very difficult task. Cheating. AshleyMadison.com is a website that is kind of like a dating site, only you're not really looking for dates, but rather looking for hookups or partners. The people who go on the site are people who are already in marriages or in committed relationships. They ran a poll, and of 15,000 cheating mothers, 1 in 5 said that they found themselves in a situation that was hard. Obviously, it was hard to get out of when it came to balancing their extracurricular activities with their family life. Go mom. It is also known to be the highest spike in teenage mothers sign up for this website. Dun is today. Well, the day after Mother's Day, or aka Entitlement Issues Day, is the day that the website saw an increase of 439% on that day in 2012 compared to any other day, any other Monday. The theory behind this is that Mother's Day can often lead women to look at their lives and wonder if they could have done something differently, or leave them longing for some change. Here are some shocking statistics from the website. Of the 15,000 cheating mothers who were polled, 67% admitted to taking a call from the lover right in front of their kids. Okay? A whopping 56% admitted that their affair has caused them to be late picking up their child from school or sporting events. 29% admitted to changing their child's schedule to correspond with their hookup times. Less than 4% have introduced their children to the person that they were having an affair with, but under false pretenses. Less than 2% of the mothers said that they have been caught by their children in a very compromised position. The article goes on to say these mothers may want a change in their lives, but how about changing your hair color or your wardrobe? Is risking their family really worth it? What say you? So to think, the one day that mothers are praised for doing something that they're already biological supposed to do, they cheat, risking their children's and their husband's well-being.
What about intellectually? What about emotionally?
What about emotionally or intellectually? Nowadays, most women think monogamy is a type of wood. They don't know how to be it. They certainly don't know how to spell it. And they say men cheat. Well, who the fuck do you think we're cheating with? Certainly not you, Wayne. You think I'm going to get emotionally connected to a woman like that? I don't think so. And if I want intellectual stimulation, motherfucker, I'll read
it really take to stay married. And Iris Krasnow is with us this morning. Good to have you with us. Some revealing things in those 200 interviews.
Oh, yeah. You know, although there's sex and all those good things in this book, the central secret of The Secret Lives of Wives is that the happiest women I interviewed had a clear sense of purpose and passion and self-identity outside their marriages. So that really, you know, the expression, go get a life. I love, you know, I'm a journalism professor at American University, and young women come to me all the time and they say, how do I know when it's right to get married? And I say, do you have your own sense of self? Are you expecting marriage to make you happy? Because if you're expecting marriage to make you happy, that's a ticket to divorce.
Yeah, that's the reason not to get married.
Is it? I mean, is it about not lowering your expectations, but everyone goes into a marriage thinking that it's going to be bliss and it's going to be great, but it's not bliss 24/7.
Happily ever after is a myth. You don't get to be happily ever after. And you know, I do tell people, and in this book, there's a lot of women that said the reason I'm married 20, 30, 70 years is because I do not expect my partner to make me happy. So in a way, it is lowering your expectations of the marriage, but hiring your expectations or increasing your expectations of yourself.
And in some ways, too, isn't it keeping a focus on what drew you to your partner in the first place? Because you were drawn to this person as an individual, and you were an individual. So
Right.
maintaining that sense of self keeps you both interested in one another.
Well, it's so interesting. I did a piece for Huffington Post Weddings on when to call the wedding off. And there's some real fundamental things that people should look for before they get married. And then they have a sense of what will go the distance. And it's trust and it's respect. And physical attraction and emotional crackle is very important too. You do need to be attracted to the person you marry, because if you're not, after 10 years or 20 years, when you're sharing a mortgage, in-laws, and a bathroom, you think you're going to invent sexual crackle at that point? No.
So if the spark is not there at the beginning, don't think that all of a sudden,
No, don't
10 years
marry
down the
your
line, all
best
of a sudden
friend.
it's gonna
And you know
happen.
what? It's so important and it's underrated. You know, when young women come to me and say, should I marry this person? I don't say, does he come from a good family or what's he going to do? I say, are you attracted to him?
Does he light your fire?
Does
There you
he
go.
light your fire?
But you also say, too, it's important to have good girlfriends, which we know. It's important to take time, do vacations each on your own, have maybe a best boyfriend. But at one point, there's talk about, is it really okay to make out with someone else while you're married?
I think it's, I'm sorry.
Okay, there is, I love her. There is a woman in the book, Erica, who's in her 70s. She's been married 44 years, and she makes out in a red Cadillac with her high school boyfriend maybe once a month.
Does her husband know?
This book is called The Secret Life of Wives.
I mean, this guy.
I mean, and so is it okay? I gave you 200 women, 200 stories.
Okay.
It's a mosaic. I'm not a shrink.
That's great.
We like it. It's a great
Thank you.
book. Very interesting.
Thank you so much.